Hello everyone, in this video we'll go through the code for the Sudoku game, Windows console Sudoku game, which was made using C++. So before going through the code, let me first demonstrate the final working game. So let me build this. It's building. We wait for the compiler to build. So finally the project is built. As you can see, this is the start screen. Welcome to the Sudoku puzzle. Then the rules of Sudoku are given. Three rules, that each digit from 1 to 9 should appear in row once, each digit from 1 to 9 should appear in a column once, and on dividing the 9 to 9 grid into 9 equal parts, each part should have all digits from 1 to 9 at once. So if you know these rules, then just press any key to continue. Okay, so this is our Sudoku game, and this is our Sudoku puzzle. So we'll be given some hints, as we all know. There will be some hints given to us initially, and there are 81 blocks, 81 small blocks. So the game ends when we finish all these blocks in a valid way. So when progress is 81 by 81, the game ends. Currently we are given 30 hints because I have set it to 30, so we will be given 30 hints. So suppose now we'll be asked to enter the row number. Suppose I want to change this value, so I will enter row number as 1, column number as 1, and the value I'll enter as 1. So as you can see, the value 1 is now entered here. Also you might have noticed that it's in red color. So why is it in red color? So here, as you can see, red color means it's invalid because it's clashing. So let's see what's happening. So one is not present in this row, so it's fine, but one comes in this row and in this block, so one cannot come here, but we have entered one here, which means this one is invalid, so it's being marked as red and it's not counted to our progress. So we'll change this one with something else. So as you can see, we can enter 7 here for now. So now it's 7 and the progress is increased by 1. So we can do this. We can manually enter the row and column numbers and enter the value which we think is the correct one, and when the progress is 81, we win. So before going further, let me show you the code for this this Sudoku. The design, like if you see the design for each block, 3 into T block, I have chosen a different color, so it's easy for the player to see. So very good. So this is the print Sudoku and the print line. Okay. So okay, so after each like there will be 9 rows, right? So after each row, as you can see, I'm printing a line. So this is what this print line function is doing. By the way, this whole code will be present in a GitHub repository, which I'll link in the description. So yeah, so this what print line function does, it will print this these lines that I'm doing. So I manually did it, like I manually set it to 13, like for first 13 line print this in this color, in X color, then for next 13 print in X plus 1 color, then next 13 this print in X plus 2 color. So okay, so I'm using this set console text attribute function. What it does, it we give it a number. So like by default X is 9, so we give it a number. Each number is associated with a color. So 9 here is associated with blue, so 9 means the output will be in blue color. Then 10 means output will be green color, 11 means the output will be in this light blue color, and 7 means the output will be in the white color, the default. So this is what I'm using for printing the line. And similarly print Sudoku, I just put one space, enter the value, put one space, then enter, and then print this block. This is here I'm printing this. So this is how I'm printing the Sudoku. Okay, now also one thing, here you can see enter -1 as row number or column number to solution at any moment. So if you are not able to solve this puzzle, then what we can do is we can see the solution. So I enter -1 as row number, or you can also enter -1 as column number, and it will show you the solution. So this was the solution. So progress is now 81 by 81 because all blocks are filled, but we get a message that game over, you were not able to solve the puzzle. And this is because we were not able to solve it, and we asked for help by entering -1. So we were not able to solve the puzzle. So if you want to play again, enter Y. Anything else will be accepted as no. So I press Y, then I go back to this main screen which I started with, and then another puzzle is generated. Okay, so how is this working? Let's so our Sudoku, I have defined it globally, and initially it's underscore, like it's a character vector. So initially it's underscore, meaning that there is no value present. So okay, so in the main we set playtime as true. So playtime is here. So we set playtime as true, then while playtime is true, which means like we have to run this program at least once, right? We want to play the Sudoku game at least once. So while this is true, this will run at least once, then playtime is set as false. So if user wants to play again, like if user enters Y, then we set playtimes equals to 2. So another game is played if the user wants to, but at least we want to do it once, so we initialize it with 2. So okay, then we generate Sudoku. So let's go to the generate Sudoku function. Okay, srun, first we do srun timer. So what this does it, we are using random, this rand function. What random function does it, it generates a random value, and then we mod it with some value according to our needs. So what srun will do it will ensure that the rand is giving different values each time we run the program. If we don't do this, then rand will give the same values on each iteration of the program. So this is why we use srand here. Then temp equals to Sudoku. So this temp is our answer Sudoku. So suppose like, so this Sudoku, this entire Sudoku, this solved Sudoku, this is our temp. Okay, so this is our temp. So how we are generating this temp, let's see. So I already have a Sudoku which is stored, like this Sudoku is stored. I have one, but you can have more than one, like you can have 10, then make this 10 and return randomly 1 to 0 to 9 and index. So then what I'm doing is, then I'm shuffling and switching. So what is this shuffling and switching? Let's see here. So Sudoku have this property that if we swap an entire column, two entire columns, then the Sudoku's properties will be maintained. Like suppose these are the 3 columns of Sudoku. So suppose these are 3 columns. By 3 columns I mean like this will have, like if we divide the 9 columns into 3 parts, like 1 to 3 columns are here, 4 to 6 are here, 7 to 9. So if this is the Sudoku, and these 3 parts of this, and if we divide the columns into 3 parts, then if we switch 4 to 6 with 1 to 3 or 7 to 9, or if you switch any 2, like 1 to 3 and 7 to 9, the properties of the Sudoku are still maintained, because each row will still have the same number of same numbers. The columns are not affected on switching, and the blocks will be transferred entirely. The 3 into 3 blocks will be transferred entirely, so the properties will still remain. And similarly for columns, if we swap two columns, like if we divide the columns into 3 parts and swap any 2 of them, then the properties of Sudoku are still maintained. So this is what this shuffling is doing. We have a original Sudoku, solved Sudoku, and we are shuffling them. Why we are doing this? Because if user plays again, then we don't want the user to get the same Sudoku again. So shuffling will ensure that the rows and columns are swapped, so the new Sudoku is generated. And also with shuffling, you can see we are using a switching function. What switching does it? It selects randomly 2 values between 1 to 9 and swaps all the values, and swaps both the values present in the Sudoku. So suppose x, so let's say we have the 2 numbers as 4 and 7. So everywhere where 7 is present in the Sudoku, it will be replaced by 4, and everywhere where 4 is present, it will be replaced by 7. Doing this, the properties of Sudoku will remain intact, but we'll get a new Sudoku. So doing this like three times, this will ensure that we have a new Sudoku every time. And the solved Sudoku is maintained in this temp. So, okay, now what we have to do? So we have solved Sudoku, but what do we want? We want the user to have some number of hints. I have chosen 30. We want the user to have some number of hints, and rest the user have to decide it by themselves. Like rest the user have to enter by themselves. So what I'm doing is I'm storing all the indexes of the Sudoku into choose. So from 0 to 9, I'm inserting all the pairs I comma j. So it's like 0 comma 0 to 8 comma 8. I'm inserting all the pairs, and I'm randomly choosing 30 values from there, and the values which are chosen, then they will be stored as fixed points, like these are fixed points, and the values at fixed points will be displayed to the user in yellow color. So, and then the progress will be marked as 30, because I'm showing 30 points, then the progress will be 30 as 30 positions are filled. So this is what generate Sudoku does. After that, we show the start menu. So this was the start menu. So start menu will have the rules, all the Sudoku rules. After that, while progress is less than 81, keep playing. So the game ends when the progress is 81, so the user will keep entering, like say 1,1. Wait. Okay, say 7,1. Okay, so like also one thing, like if we don't enter a valid row number, like if we enter 10, then the program will not go further until we enter a valued value. So make sure to enter a valid value. So like we entered 3 here, so the progress is increased to 31, and doing this for all the blocks, we will get progress as 81. When we get progress as 81, then the game will be finished. So also one thing, suppose if I put 3 here, so this is row 1 column 4. On putting 3 here, these two values are clashing, so these both will be marked as red, and the progress is set back to 30. So if the player manages to get to progress 81 and solve the entire puzzle, then he will win, or they will win. So let me demonstrate here. Suppose like if I give 80 hints, the program is building again. Okay, so our program is built now. So I have given 80 hints this time. So 1 2 3 4. So this is 7th row and 5th column, and the value will be 5. As you can see, I have solved the entire Sudoku puzzle. This time it will the message will be congratulations, you have solved the puzzle. So we'll change this back to 30. You can make this anything like 25, 30, 35, or you can like ask the user for difficulty, and based on the difficulty you can set this. I have set it to 30 for now. Also one more thing I wanted to show. Let's build again. Okay, so these are fixed point, right? The points which are marked in yellow, these are fixed points, and we all know in Sudoku we cannot change the fixed values. So suppose I try to change this row number 1, column number 2. The program will say you cannot change the value at fixed points, try again. So next iteration will run. So this has been taken care of. So if the row, column or column are in the fixed point, which are here, then the program will not accept it. Then program will ask the user to then enter the row number and column number again. Okay, after the row and column number, after this, like, okay, while progress is less than 81, we'll play. So let's go to the play function. So if progress is 81, return. Now as you may have noticed, I'm using this. What it does, it sets cursor position in console. So it's like, as you can see, this Sudoku is printed here, but usually what happens is if you print these values, these things, it will be, they will touch in the left corner, or you have to like and put spaces here so that the output is in this way. But this can be prevented by using set console cursor position and just mentioning the coordinates of that point. So like 15,26, this means from this left side it will give 15 characters of space, and from top it will give 26 character spaces before printing. Okay, so when we play, it will ask for row number. The user enters row number. If the user enters invalid row number, then it will not go ahead until the user enters a valid row number or column number. So it's advised that we use string as inputs, because user can print anything, like user can enter this and this or anything. We do not have control over it. So if you like store this as int or anything else, then it might cause your program to crash. So it's advised to use string, unless you can restrict the user to enter values as you require. So I ask for row number, then I check if it is valid. If it's valid when like the user enters the row number, then I check if it's invalid. So let me go to the invalid function. So this is the string user entered. So if the string is not present in this, then it's invalid. So return true. If it is present, then return false, it is not invalid. So if it's not invalid, then like if I enter 1, or let's say 7 is not invalid, so it will be marked as you have selected 7th row. Then similarly I select the column number, then I say, let's say I selected first column, then I have to enter the valid value, and the valid value means I cannot enter any random value. I have to enter value between 1 to 9. So when I enter the valid value, what happens is the Sudoku at that position is updated to that value, like Sudoku at that index is updated to that value. Also one thing to remember is that the player will use 1 to 9 indexing, like 1 based indexing, but in computers we use 0 based indexing. So make sure to reduce 1 from this. Like if user entered 7 to, then you have to do manipulation on the 6th index. So I update the row and column value to the value which the user entered, and then what I'm doing is I'm iterating to all the points and marking them as valid points, like they are not invalid at the moment. Then I update for each block, like 0, 0. Blocks are these 3 into 3 elements, like 3 into 3 elements. These are blocks. This is one block, this is second block. So I update for each block 0, 0, 3 block will be this one, 0, 6 block will be this one, and similarly 3, 0 block will be this one, 3, 3 will be this one, 3, 6, and so on. So what this update does it, let's go to the update function. Oh, okay. So suppose I'm in this first block, so in coordinates will be 0, 0 of this. So I'm going from 0 at I equals to x to I less than x plus 3. So I will go from x plus 1, x plus 2, and for y plus 1, y plus 2, y plus 1, y plus 2. So I will cover the whole block, and at each index I check if this value is present in the row, in the entire row. So suppose if I have 1 here, if it's present in entire row, then I mark both these values as invalid values. Like if they are present, then these both will be marked as invalid. Similarly for each column we check if this value is present in the entire column. If it is present, then I will mark both these values as invalid, this and wherever it is present. Also one thing, we also have to maintain the block property, like this whole block should have number from 1 to 9. So if a number is occurring in a block twice, then both the indexes will be marked as invalid points. And then as we know that the fixed points cannot be invalid, so suppose if there is another 7 here, then both of these are not invalid, only the 7 which is here will be invalid, because this is a fixed point. Fixed points are always correct. So now after updating the progress will be updated also. So I have chosen row 7 first. Suppose I say 8. So 8 is currently valid, so progress is 31. So control goes back to the while loop, because progress is still less than 81. Then it will keep playing unless the progress is 81. But what if we see the solution? What happens then? Okay, if we see the solution, then we can see the solution by pressing -1. So if we press -1 by enter -1 as row number or column number, then we are calling the show solution function and returning. So let's go to this show solution function. So show solution, what it will do is, first it will mark as help taken by 2. This means that you have taken help from the, but this means that you have taken help and you were not able to solve it yourself, the Sudoku puzzle. Then what it will do is, as we know that the temp stores the solved puzzle, so Sudoku ij will be made equal to the temp ij at all points, and all invalid points will be removed. All points will be marked as valid, and then we get the game over, you were not able to finish the Sudoku puzzle. Let's like this, game over, you were not able to solve the Sudoku puzzle because we took help from the program. So yeah, that was it. If you want to play again, then press Y. If you don't want to play, then press anything. So thank you everyone, this was it.